pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest. Welcome back to the Rain Hub YouTube channel. This is your girl Ulan. Thank you so much for joining us once again today. So just moving on, we're going to be talking about the unemployment rate in Nigeria at the moment. So yesterday, one of the highlights of the day for me was there was an announcement about the President Muhammadu Buhari approving an employment program or employment scheme for 774,000 Nigerians. So the number came about as a result of saying, okay, we're going to provide employment for 1,000 people per local government, and Nigeria has 774 local governments. So yes, 774,000. So just going by some facts, as at 2017, the World Bank reported that Nigeria has 190.9 million people. So that's our population. And so obviously between 2017 and now, there's been a massive increase in our population as well, or maybe not massive, but there has definitely been an increase. So that's to say that we are probably somewhere around 200 million at the moment in Nigeria. And again, back in 2019, on May 2nd specifically, as reported by the Premium Times Nigerian news outlet, Chris Ngige, who is the Minister of Labor and Employment of Nigeria, had made an announcement, or he made a statement to say that he expects there to be an increase as at 2020 in the unemployment rate in Nigeria, and this increase was meant to bring up the rate to about 33.5%. Now mind you, this 33.5% is not clear if this is for, you know, percent of the entire population or just of the labor force of Nigeria. Now I'm going to be saying that I am assuming that this is 33% of the labor force. Now in Nigeria, the labor force is classified as people between the ages of 16 and 64 who are able and willing to work. Okay, so just putting, you know, some of that into context. Now, as at 2018, the National Bureau of Statistics reported that Nigeria had 90.6 million people in the labor force, and going by the 33.5% that had been mentioned by Chris Ngige back in 2019, that's to say that Nigeria is currently, or you know, is how it's going to currently has somewhere around 30 million people that are unemployed, who are able and willing to work, but then they don't have any work doing. So when you look at that, and at the moment we have, you know, the whole COVID thing that's going on, and then the president is saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to make provision for 774,000 people, and then it begs the question, what happens to the 29 million others? So how is that? So there's no support for them. What's in place for them, you know? So these are some of the things that you just say, okay, does that mean that does the country not have any foresight? Does the government not have any foresight to, you know, or other plans of how they are going to help Nigerians in these very hard times? Because obviously we know that the entire world is going through an economic downfall. Economic crisis is probably looming, and even prior to this COVID, there had been rumors about going back to a recession again, especially in Nigeria. So again, what is going to happen? That's the question that we keep asking. Now moving on from that as well, there was an announcement recently and a circular as well that went out by the CBN, and this circular is basically about a 50 billion naira targeted credit facility that is meant to help small and medium enterprises as well as households during this COVID-19 period. There's not enough knowledge about this scheme. Some people listening to me right now are only hearing about it for the very first time, and maybe they don't know what it's called, but some people call it the NIRSAL, NIRSAL, NIRSAL funding scheme, or COVID funding scheme, or something like that. And basically you need to apply for this online. So some people receive this notification via WhatsApp messages, or maybe even text messages, and that's how it's been going around. But then what happens to the person who is not literate enough, who actually needs this funding? They don't know how to use the internet, they don't know how to put through these applications. Lots of businesses, you know, exist that, you know, people in the market, for instance, who are just petty traders and things like that. They also need this funding. But how are they going to go about it? Has there been anyone, or are there channels where they are telling people about it? For instance, in all languages, they set up camps everywhere where they're able to educate people and let them know that there's this support that has been provided for them by the government. Probably not. Again, this is one major thing that I can see is constantly lacking in Nigeria, which is the flow of information from the government to the layman on the street, to the lowest, or to the the simplest Nigerian. There's not enough flow of information. Now, on a last note, just to round up this particular episode, there has been rumors about 20,000 naira being credited to people's accounts. Now, I say rumors because I can't find any credible source. I don't, because again, it's very important what we put out there for people. It's very important what I share, because I want to make sure it's coming from a reliable source. I can't see, and I haven't heard of anyone who has received this alert, but there are rumors that people are receiving it too. A lot of things at the moment have been the prices have been sparked up, and up to 150% increase. For some people, maybe 50%. For some people, even 100%. Maybe even 200 sometimes. And it makes you wonder, okay, what's really going on? So if you're giving me 20,000 naira to help with my household, on a normal day or before this whole saga, this would have probably been enough to feed my family for maybe 2 weeks. But now 20,000 naira is not even going to be enough. By the time you even buy a sanitizer for your household, you buy 2 of that. In some instances, that's just maybe you have 10,000 naira left to buy other stuff. So yes, the money, 20,000 naira, is not enough. 774,000 jobs are not enough. And lastly, the 50 billion naira is a good scheme by the CBN. It's a very good scheme, I must say. However, please, we need to have more information about this, and the layman needs to know how to go about accessing these funds. So yes, that's just it for today. Once again, all links and relevant material will be in our comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to invite your friends to join us on this channel and keep having these very interesting conversations. See you next time, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.